I'm here today to talk to you about sleeping bags. Now, I have over the last 30 years owned many sleeping bags. North Face, Mountain Designs, MacPack, half a dozen other brands. I can't even remember what they were. Some of them were okay, some were pretty good. This one here is the one I'm going to talk about today. It is the best sleeping bag I've ever owned, ever. And not just by a tiny fractional margin, but by a very substantial margin. This is called the Traverse XT1, and it's made by a company called Summit. Now, Summit is based in Perth, Western Australia. Do not panic if you don't live anywhere near Perth, Western Australia. It doesn't matter. They will ship their products all over the planet. And they make all sorts of stuff. I use their dry bags to put things in, like sleeping bags, and other things. They make some good stuff, and they actually put a lot of thought into what outdoor products they make, and they work. All right, let's talk about the sleeping bag. Now, every good sleeping bag starts with high-quality goose down. There's goose down and there's awesome goose down, and this particular goose down that is in this bag is essentially as good as you will find anywhere on the face of the planet. European goose down, sourced from the best places they can get it from. And it's 850 plus loft, which is huge. But there's more. Summit have come up with this magical sort of treatment, nanotechnology, where they treat the down in such a way as to not actually appreciably increase the weight of it, but they make it considerably more repellent to absorbing moisture. It keeps the down drier, and I think they call it ultra dry down. It works. Keeps. If you've ever had a clumpy, wet down sleeping bag that's totally useless, you know what I'm talking about. You got to keep your down dry, and that's what they do with this new technology. It really separates this bag from a lot of their competitors. There you go, XT1, 850 loft. You can unzip the bottom to let your feet out. If you get really claustrophobic with typical mummy bags and your feet can't move and you're freaking out because it's just all, not fun in there, you can actually unzip this, let one leg kick out and do its thing. Let them both out if they're getting hot, whatever works for you. Let me talk about zippers for a minute, because this is a little pet peeve of mine. You know how outdoor manufacturers love to make things super, extra, ultra lightweight? That's wonderful, up to a point. When I see a tent, for example, that is like the lightest tent ever, it makes me very nervous, because I have to ask myself, what did they sacrifice in order to make this tent super lightweight? And usually what they've sacrificed is the durability and the robustness of the material the tent is made out of. And when the rain is pouring down and the raindrops are actually coming through the tent onto your forehead in the middle of the night, and you're getting cold and wet and hypothermic, you probably think to yourself, I wish I hadn't bought the super ultra lightweight tent. I wish I'd got something a little bit heavier. Same with sleeping bags. You get what you pay for as far as weight and everything else. When sleeping bag manufacturers are trying to make a sleeping bag super lightweight, here's what they do. They will either make the nylon shell thinner and therefore more prone to getting ripped and torn and having down leaking through it, or they will do this little trick of putting a cheap and nasty zipper on the bag instead of a high quality zipper like this one. But the most horrible thing they do to make some sleeping bags super lightweight is they will omit the tape. The zipper tape might have another technical term. I don't know what it's called. I call it zipper tape. But it's basically the strip of fabric that runs along the zipper, both sides in this case. And that's another thing. Some sleeping bags only have it on one side. This has it on both sides. The function of this is to keep the thing from snagging, so it runs smoothly. Now, if it's the middle of summer and it's a nice night and your zipper doesn't do up all the way, it's not the end of the world. You survive. But if you're in the Himalayas and it's a blizzard and it's 28 degrees below zero and you can't get your zipper closed, it's a life-threatening situation. So I would rather pay the extra money, whatever it might be, and carry the extra 18 3/4 grams of weight that comprises the zipper tape, and know that my zipper is going to close when I need it to close around my body, then get something that is super ultra lightweight and isn't going to work. So that's just my pet peeve about zippers. Don't get too obsessed with weight. Get obsessed with quality. Alright, so we talked about the bottom of the bag, which is kind of got a zipper closure, and it's kind of a half mummy, half boxwood, I guess. And the other thing is, it actually is shaped like your feet are shaped. So you know how your feet are at the end of the bag and they're kind of down a bit and out a bit? That's the way this is shaped. So it actually feels good. Your feet feel like they're in the right place down there. Let's look at the top of the bag. You notice how some bags are really good at keeping you super warm up to about here, and then they just lose the plot completely. Whenever you're in a sleeping bag, if you're going to get cold, the things that's going to get cold first is your shoulders, your neck, your head. Of all the bags I've ever owned, the hood on this bag keeps me warmer than anything, by a huge, huge, huge margin. They got all the down in the right places. It's shaped properly. The drawstrings are easily accessible and good quality, and they're inside, and you can pull them and do whatever you need to do there. Now, the weight of this bag, and don't quote me because I'm pulling this out of the top of my head here, I think it's a hair over a kilogram, something like 1,035 or so grams. A little bit over a kilogram, and I believe it takes you down to about -7, something like that. So it's a very lightweight bag, it's a very efficient bag, it's a very comfortable bag. It does come with its own stuff sack, compression sack. I put it in here, and because I'm super paranoid and I tend to drop things overboard out of dugout canoes in West Africa and stuff, I put it in one of these extra super dry bags that Cedar Summit make as well. This is called the 13-liter hydraulic dry bag, by the way, and these are brand new as well. This has only been out about 1.5 years, this bag, so it's fairly new technology. If you don't like green, they have other colors. If you don't want this particular bag, they have quite a few other ones. Some that are even warmer than this, and some lighter weight, duck down, summer type bags and whatever. But for me, for what I do, this is ideal. It really is a good bag. So check it out. Go to the website, c2summit, all one word, .com.au, and check out their the range of bags. This is the one I use. It's called the Traverse XT1. What a rush.